Hey Superstar students, it's Dr. Conklin. I'm here with a good friend Harry S., to do a quick video for you reviewing Pythagorean theorem. So we noticed on our last quiz a few of you guys had a question on Pythagorean theorem. Some of you didn't, but we noticed it might just be something we need to go back and review, so we're going to take some time to do that today. You do not need these notes. I'll upload a blank copy for you, but you could just get a piece of paper and sort of follow along the examples. I am going to ask you to take a picture when you're done of 3 questions, and we're going to check and see how those went. So first of all, whenever we see a right triangle, you should always be thinking of our friend Pythagorean theorem, because Pythagorean theorem helps us to find missing sides. And when we have a right triangle, we know that we have one angle that measures 90 degrees. So the main idea whenever we have a right triangle is that we want to identify what the hypotenuse is and the legs. And notice how legs has that S on it, which means there's not going to be one legs, but we're going to have 2. So here's how we're going to do it. The hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. So you almost want to picture, let me make this a little bigger. Let's pretend that Mr. Fields is standing right here on this right angle, and we asked him to go find the hypotenuse. Well, to find the hypotenuse, he needs to go across from the right angle. So he's not going to go here or here because those are actually adjacent, right? But he's going to go completely across. So this is going to be our hypotenuse. And you can tell, hold on, it's too big. I gotta make it look cute. Okay, so here's our hypotenuse. Okay. And then once you have the hypotenuse, the other 2 sides that are touching the right angle, so again, if Mr. Fields is still in that corner, that's going to be one of our legs and the other leg. Okay, so now let's pretend Miss Vala is standing right here. And she's got a hat on. Oh, she's cheering on the Yankees this postseason. Which would be our hypotenuse? So sort of just think for a second, and I'll put CAT on here so we could figure it. Which segment is going to be our hypotenuse? So if she's standing here and she walks across, this is going to be our hypotenuse, which is going to leave this to be a leg and this to be a leg. So again, the 2 pieces that are touching the right angles, those are our legs. Okay, and then here's the actual Pythagorean theorem, which I think you guys know before, but the A is our leg, B can be our leg, and then C is our hypotenuse. So if you look here. Now when we think about the Pythagorean theorem, we want to really think about it as we're taking the 2 legs, we're squaring each leg, adding them together, and then we're taking the hypotenuse and squaring it. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Before we do that though, let's just now translate this into variables. A and B are our legs, C is our hypotenuse. So, oops, this had a right angle there. So if we look here, here's PQR. Across from our right angle is our hypotenuse, so that's going to be C. And then this is A, this is B. Now, what you could do, guys, is, let's say I change this around. If I make this B, this is A. A and B you can flip-flop. C, no way, Jose, okay? So same thing here. I want you to try this one. I'll make this into BEY for my best friend's nickname. Okay, so which is the hypotenuse? So I'm going to go to the right angle, go across. That's going to be C, and then A and B. And then remember, it's okay if you switch the A and the B. So now let's try some problems. So we're going to sort of do the same thing we just did. We're going to find the missing length. So whenever you see a right triangle and missing length, you want to think of Pythagorean theorem. And we're rounding to the nearest 100th if we need to. So first thing we're going to do, step 1, we're going to label A, B, and C. So let's figure out which is A, which is B. So here's my right angle. If I'm standing here, I walk across, that's my C. And I notice that's my variable X, so we're not going to do anything with that. And then I'm going to make this A and this B. And if it helps, maybe let's list what A, B, and C are. A is 6, B is 3, and C we don't know, it's X, okay? So now let's substitute in a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I'm going to just do my little dot here so I remember we're doing both sides. So for a, I'm going to put in 6 squared. For b, I'm going to put in 3 squared. And for c, I'm going to put in x squared. Now let's evaluate this. It means we're just going to simplify. So we have 36 and 9 equals x squared. I'm going to keep simplifying here on this side until I get 45 equals x squared. To get rid of x squared, we need to take the square root on both sides. And then I'm going to go to my calculator. And let's do second square root of 45. That is a big number, 6.708. So x is about 6.708. And then just be careful, guys, because it said round to the nearest hundredths. So let me underline the hundredths. I'm going to look back. That's going to bump that up to 6.71 centimeters. And then check your work, guys. C is supposed to be the longest side. Did our answer become the longest? We had 6.7 is longer. Okay, so try this one right now, and I'll go over in a second. Okay, so we're gonna plug in now. So you're checking your work right now. You should have something like this, 28 and 49, which I am just going to make sure I get this right for you guys, so I'm going to use my calculator. 28 plus 49, and then what's nice, I get 77, so 77 equals x squared. To get x by itself, I'm going to take the square root, so x is a square root of 77. So 8.774. And then here's my hundredths place. I'm going to look back, and that's going to round up to 8.78. Which again, check your work. Oh, that's a horrible 8. Sorry, guys. Does this make sense? 8.78. Go back to your picture. 8.78, that should be longer than both these numbers, and it is. Ooh, and you know what? I forgot my centimeters. Haha, I got it. All right, so now we're going to try one that's a little bit different. Oh, you know what? I had a request. I said her name wrong. In one of my classes, said her name was Scissor. Apparently her name is SZA. Oh boy, she's got a lot of explicit songs. I thought I downloaded one that was not. All right, let me do this question and I'll check back on SZA, not Scissor. Apparently I said that wrong. I'm sorry about that, guys. So if we look here, we're first going to go back and we're going to identify what's A, what's B, what's C. Okay, so I'm standing at the right angle. I go across. That's my C. And then I have A and B. So now this is a little different because we have a value for C. Okay, I found SZA. So we're going to do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. This is not the explicit version, guys. I would never put that on. Okay, so 3.7, and I'm squaring it. That's my A. So that's one of our legs. And that's going to be... And then C squared is our hypotenuse. Okay, so now we're definitely going to need our calculator to evaluate. So what's tricky is we're going to have to solve here. So let's first evaluate 3.7 squared. So 13.69. Oops, I don't know what happened here. Go back to numbers. Oh dear, I'm not sure I have my calculator. Let me start again. 4.2 squared. So 17.64. And then now, to find what x squared is, we need to do some solving here. So I want to get x by itself, so I need to cancel out this 13.69. So I'm going to subtract both sides. Again, I'm definitely going to use my calculator here. So, oops, 17.64 minus 13.69. So 3.95. To get x by itself, we're going to take the square root. So x equals second square root 3.95. And again, we're rounding to the hundredth, so 1.987. All right, so I'm going to underline the hundredths, look back. So x is going to be about 1.99, and our units were centimeters again. I love the centimeters today. Okay, so go back and check your work. Our two numbers were, our leg was 3.7, our hypotenuse was 4.2. Does it make sense that this answer is less than 4.2? Yes, it should be, because legs are smaller than the hypotenuse. Okay, last one I'll have you, we'll do together, and then I'll have you do two and hand on your own. So let's first find our C value. So this is C. I'm going to make this A, make this B. So go ahead and try to do Pythagorean theorem here. You got this, guys. SZA and I are with you. I think I'm still saying it wrong, but that's okay. I'm learning. Oops, hold on. So our A value we said is 5.3, so I'm going to plug that in. Our B is X, and our C is, and you could actually leave, if you'd rather leave B in there, you don't need to put the X in. But now we're going to need our calculator. So 5.3 squared, 28.09, x squared, 6.9 squared. And then let's solve. Oh man, I'm late for my next class, guys. No, I'm not. Okay, so 47 minus 28.09, 18.71, and then we're going to take the square root on both sides. In the home stretch here, my friends. So second square root of 18.71, we get 4.325. And again, we're still rounding to the hundredths place. So the hundredths place is going to be right here. We're going to look behind. So x is going to be 4.33, and now it's in meters. And again, I'm just going to check my work. Does that make sense? The hypotenuse was 6.9, and that's definitely less than that. So what we're going to have you do is I would suggest you take a picture of this on a separate piece of paper. Take a picture of this or write them down. Feel free to pause the video right now if that would be helpful for you. But we'd like you guys to do these 3 questions and hand them in today so we can sort of see how people are doing with Pythagorean theorem, okay? Hope you guys have an awesome day. Keep up the great work, and we'll see you soon. Bye.